Jocko, does leadership require theatrics or acting skill in the case of an underperforming subordinate?
I mean, obviously, in a way, yes, it does. But it's definitely more complicated than that as well. Because, and we've talked about this before. I've talked about like if you want to make an impression to your kids, they haven't listened to you and you've told them 14 times. And finally, you've been all calm and detached and be like, hey, this is it. This is why. And you've given it on everything you're supposed to do in the extreme ownership handbook of leadership. And they're still not listening to you. And you go, you know what? I've got to show some anger here.
Right.
So they realize that I'm really serious. So that's a time when you might have to flip the switch and act
Right.
like you're angry, for instance. And, this is part of detachment, because if you are controlling your emotions and you decide you need to show some emotions, then you're going to need to do some sort of, I guess it would be considered acting.
Theatrics.
Some theatrics to make that clear. Now, it also might go in the other direction where you don't want to show that you're frustrated, or you don't want to show that you're angry, or you don't want to show, if you got your team looking at you and you don't want to show that you're frustrated,
right.
or
discombobulated.
Flustered, yeah. So you got to act, okay, you know what? I'm just, I've got to act cool. I've got to detach a little bit and just act cool. And so those are both, I guess those could be considered acting. But at the same time, I don't think it's disingenuous, and I will tell you why. The reason I'll tell you why is because remember when I was on Sam Harris and we were talking about being brave, and he said, if you pretend to be brave, well, then you are in fact being brave. So if you're wounded in the street and there's machine gun fire going on, and I say, you know what? I don't want to do this, but I'm just going to pretend to be brave right now. And I run out and grab you, pull you out of the street. Right. Even though I was pretending to be brave, I was brave. Yeah. Because that's what I did. Yeah. I did the action. It's the same thing here. If I'm really angry at you, but I decide, you know what? I got to keep that inside, and I've got to act like I'm calm. Well, guess what? What I did was act calm. So therefore, it's not acting. That's what I did as a person. So I guess I'm really not acting at all, because I'm being me. And me is detached and acting like I'm calm even though I'm super angry.
Yeah. You are acting.
Kind of a weird paradox.
Yeah. You technically, and I thought about this before, you are acting. But just like how you're saying, it's not disingenuous, because there's a difference between what you feel and how you behave, like feelings and behavior. So if I'm mad at you for something and I don't yell at you and does that mean I'm not mad at you? It doesn't mean that.
Right.
But what if I am mad at you and I do my madness, my anger makes me yell at you? All that means is my feelings are driving my behavior. Just because your feelings aren't driving your behavior doesn't mean it's disingenuous, So you can still be mad. You can still yell, even though the yelling isn't because you're mad. The yelling is for a specific result. So just like how you're saying, you're still staying calm. Yes, you're acting. You're acting. But you're acting because you want a certain result. Yes, that's why I say you are acting. Because you're not, if you're not acting, that means your anger is driving your behavior. Your feeling is driving your behavior. Otherwise, you're just, you're acting. But I think I agree with you when we were talking about it before. That's a good thing. You're going for results here.
Yeah. And that's the question. The actual question is, it specifically says underperforming subordinate. And so clearly, you might have to show some anger so that they realize that you're really serious, that they may get fired, that they need to improve, that they need to, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. And if it's with your girlfriend and wife, it shows them you care. A lot of times, how you'll be like, hey, say something and you're saying it all calm or whatever. And caring, knowing you care about, or someone knowing that you care about them, that is a big deal. Versus if they suspect, he doesn't care about my situation. I'm telling you.
No, you're right.
It shows that you care, bro.
They want you to care. People want you to care.
Jocko, you got to care.